Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rhonda and I'm also known as the Sparkling One. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little purse with these little prayer bears inside. I wanted to make this for a little girl who is going through cancer, who's 3 years old. And I thought it was just adorable. And I put in 2 little bears and they are called prayer bears.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Your love be with me through the night, and wake me with the morning light. Amen.
I thought those were so cute. So they were $1 a piece. I got 2 of them, and I wanted to make a little carrier purse for the little girl to take them to the hospital so she could share it with a friend. I thought she would be so happy to get this little gift. Isn't it precious? So if you're interested in learning how to make this, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how. To make this little purse for this little bear, you're going to have to do some measuring. So I made the blanket big enough to go to right under the chin of the bear, and then a little bit past the feet, right here. Because I want to leave room for my seam allowances on the side. So all you're going to do is you're going to make 2 squares exactly the same size as the little doll or bear or little kitten or whatever stuffed animal that you have that's going to fit inside of the little purse. You're going to want to make that a couple inches bigger on each side. And I'm making this, like I said, for a little girl who has cancer. She's about 3 years old, and so I thought this would be so cute for her to bring to the hospital. She could have this little bear next to her, and it's so soft. Believe it or not, being $1, it is just the softest little thing. I'm using a size D crochet hook. This is a really small crochet hook, but I am using the yarn that is a size 3 weight. It's a sport weight baby yarn, and I'll insert that picture right here. You just start with a slip stitch. And you're going to chain multiples of 3. So I'm going to have 11 rows of these little squares right here. 11 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm having 11 rows of basket weave of 3s. So I'm going to make 33 chains. Chain in multiples of 3, so I'm going to have 33. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 33 chains, and then I'm just chaining 1 extra chain. I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to go into the 4th chain from the hook, and I'm going to go into the back bumps of the chains right here. I'm not going into the front, but you can choose to do whatever you'd like. So you just yarn over and you double crochet across the chain, either in the back bumps or in the front of the chain, whichever one you choose. So I'm going to have 33 double crochets. You might have 36 or 39 or 42, but just make sure that it's divisible by 3. Once you get to the end of your row, you're going to chain 3, and you're just going to turn it. Then you're going to go yarn over, and you're going to go into this next space right here, and you're going in the front post of that double crochet in the row below. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to do what's called a front post double crochet. Then you're going to do that again in the next post. So this first chain 3 right here does count as your first post. So that's your front post double crochet 3 times. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to go into the back post. So that means you go behind it for a back post. Push your yarn. Okay, let me show you again. You're going to go in through this hole and out through the next hole in between that space. You're going to yarn over and pull through. And that's a back post double crochet. So you're going to do 3 of those, and then you're just going to alternate this pattern until you get to the end of the row. back post, just like that. And this starts your basket weave. Now you're going to make 2 rows exactly the same. So you did this bottom row and this bottom row. This row and this row counts as 1 full row. So those are 2 rows. So for every 2 rows, you're going to alternate the pattern. But at this point, you're just going to go across, and you're going to do the front post 3 times, and then the back post 3 times. So go ahead and go to the end of your row, and I'll show you the very last stitch, what you need to do to keep it straight. I'm coming up to the last 3 stitches. And on this one, you can either go into the top of that chain right here, or I'm just going to go over and just yarn over and pull through that space. I'm not going to actually go into the top of that chain. So you can do it either way, it doesn't really matter. But this is what it should look like. And as you can tell, there's 2 rows that combine to make 1 basket weave stitch. So at the end of this row, you're going to chain 3, and then on this row, you're going to do the opposite. So you're going to yarn over, you're going to go into the front post with a double crochet, and then another front post double crochet, and this chain 3 right here again counts as your first post, whichever it is, the front or the back. In this case, it's a front. And then where you see these on the front, you're going to go through the back. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go through the back post of those 3. So wherever you have the groups of 3, you're going to do the opposite on this row. And then you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go through the front post. Whoops, it's stuck again. Come through the front post. And you'll get the hang of it in no time. It's pretty simple, and it's all done in groups of 3. So just keep alternating your pattern, go back and forth, and make these in little squares. You will need to have 2 of these panels exactly the same. So write down what your size is. If you did 42 stitches, make sure you write that down, and then you won't forget for the second one. And this is what it should look like. On your last square, don't fasten off, because what you're going to do is you're going to work down the side, because we want it to be a little bit open so we can stick the bear in there. All I'm going to do is chain 2. I'm chaining 2, and I'm doing 2 half double crochets in the first space, and then in the second space I'm doing 1 half double crochet, and in the next space I'm going to do 2 half double crochets. So you're going to alternate 2 1 2 1, okay? And I'll see you when I get to the last stitch. And my last space, I'm going to have 2 in this last one. And that's what it should look like. So at this point, you're going to go back and forth a few times, and you're going to do chain 2 at the end of your row. Turn it over, and then each of those spaces, you're going to do a half double crochet. And I want you to make 4 rows of half double crochets. So as you can see here, let me take this out. I'm making this half double crochet band on the side. So I'm going to do 2 more rows of this. So I'm 1 2 3 4. I'm going to have 4 rows total. So this was my first row. This is my second. So I want to have 4 rows. So go ahead and do that, and then I will see you back here when I get that done. I've made 4 rows of half double crochets, And remember this first row right here, and it's hard to see, but that is your first row of your half double crochets. Then you're going to have these 3 rows in here, and it looks a little different because this has 2 and 1, 2, 1 in that pattern. So it does look a little different than the half double crochets. So it will look like you have 3 in this section, which is exactly what you want. When you get to the end of this piece, all you're going to do is fasten this off and make another one exactly like it, and then we're going to join them. Go ahead and weave in your end at the end of this row, and then we're going to do 2 exactly the same. On the side that you don't have any half double crochets like you do on this side, I want you to do the same row that we did here with the 2 in the one and 1 in the next on this area right here. So you're going to go ahead and put in your hook, join your yarn, chain 2, yarn over. You're going to put 2 half double crochets in this space, but again your chain 2 counts as the first half double. Then go ahead and put in the 1 in the next one and continue just like you did on the other side, but don't do the other half double crochets. So just keep it confined to this first row. So you have 2 here, 1, 2, just like you did on the other side. So do that down the edge of this side and I'll show you how to finish it. Here are the 2 pieces that we did. I want you to flip this one upside down like that. And here is the edge that I showed you, how to do. So at this point, you're going to take your other panel. You'll be joining it to the side that you made all of these half double crochets on. On this last stitch right here, you're just going to join it into the top of the corner over on the other piece with a slip stitch. Then you're going to go into the back loop here and the back loop on the opposite side. So find that back loop. Where is it? That back loop. Pull that through, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Now you can join this however you see fit. If you like doing it in the front loops only or the back loops only or under both, that's totally fine. It's not going to really matter, but you can just join however you like. So I'm going in the back loop here, pull through both into a slip stitch. Go into the back loop, pull through, slip stitch. Do that all the way down both sides, and then we'll come back and we'll do a little border. Also make sure that when you connect this side right here on both of these ends, make sure that they're as straight across as possible. You don't want a big dip in the middle right here. So at this point, you're going to just weave in this end, and then we're going to join the other side right there. Now with your right sides together again, because this is the outside of the purse and this is the inside, you are going to join just like you did on the other side with that same slip stitch. Here's where you joined. So you had the spot where you did the 1, 2, 1, 2 half double crochets. This area is the same thing. So you're going to have 3 half double crochet sections right here. And after this stitch, you need to slip stitch into the middle of this panel right here. So this area right here is the middle. So we just want to slip stitch right over to that middle area right here. And then you need to fold it like this, because you'll have the middle panel right there. So make sure you have equal sides, and then you can sew it up with a single crochet across that bottom. do is you're going to chain 1, and then on these you're just going to go underneath. You can either slip stitch them or you can do a single crochet. I'm just going to single crochet across just because I think it will give it a little bit more added stability in the bottom of the purse. I'm going to go in underneath that stitch right there, and the next single crochet that you'll do is right here. Then you'll just single crochet. And these stitches are really small, so you're going to have to really make sure you pay attention. So it's going to go over this stitch right here, which is your double crochet, and you're going to go into the 2 loops on top of that, like that. Then you're going to find the other side right there, and you're going to go under the top of that double crochet, and you're going to pull that through, and you're going to do a single, let me tug that down, a single crochet. So it's a little bit more tedious, but it'll be worth it. I finished doing my single crochet all the way across the bottom, and here is the corner, so make sure you go into the corner to make it nice and square. Then all you're going to do is cut your yarn, and then you'll weave in your end. Now you're going to turn it inside out, so this will be the right side out, and just poke up your corners like that. And what you have is this little purse. It's so cute. Look at that. I love it. And then just put in your little stuffed animal and just see, you know, what it looks like. And we're gonna see it fits in there perfectly. And I think I'm gonna put another one in here so that the little girl that I'm making it for can share her bears. And so there'll be 2 bears in here. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put on a little scallop border on the top of this. And to do that, I'm going to start in this space right there next to this section. And I'm going to join my yarn. I'm going to chain 4. Chain 4. I'm going to skip into this section right here into the middle. I'm going to do a slip stitch. And I'm going to chain 4 again. And I'm going to go over into this section right here. Actually, I'm going to go right under there into that section. And I'm going to slip stitch. So now I have 2 chain 4 spaces. And then I'm going to do that all the way around the top of this purse, and then I'm going to go back in with a single crochet and a half double crochet. So go ahead and chain 4, and then you're going to skip right over into this section there. So you're in the basket weave spaces. So every space that you had a little basket weave, then you're going to go into that space before and after the basket weave. This one only has 2 right here because we had a chain right there, a chain 3 at the beginning. So don't let that throw you off. Just go in between each basket weave little space. So you have a chain 4, then you're going to go under here, move that out of the way, and slip stitch, chain 4. Get that little tail out of the way so we don't confuse you. 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch. Let me make that bigger. So you're going to chain 4. And then you're going to skip over those 3 stitches there, which is your basket weave, and then slip stitch, chain 4. So continue that all the way around, and then we're going to join right here at that beginning portion, and then we're going to go back in and fill that in. When you get to the little panel on the other side, you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to skip these 2 stitches and you're going to go into that one, chain 4, and then you're just going to go into the middle right here of this section. Wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just go into this middle space right there, and then chain 4. Okay, now I'm at the end, and I am going to join with a slip stitch at the bottom right there of that first chain 4. And then in each chain 4 space, you're going to do a single crochet, 3 half double crochets in the same space, and a single crochet. You're doing a single crochet, 3 half double crochets, and a single crochet. Then you're going to go into the next space and do the same thing. So you're going to do a single crochet, 3 half double crochets, three half doubles, and 1 single at the end. And you're going to do that in every chain 4 space all the way around the top of the purse. This is what the scallop border looks like. It's just very delicate. And then the next step is to weave in all of your ends and cut this off, weaving that in. Kind of block it a little bit, just stretch it out, give it a little tug, make it a little bit more uniform. And then we're going to move on to the handle. I'm going to switch crochet hooks. I'm going to go from the D to a G. And you're just going to yarn, chain 2. And then you're going to do a half double crochet into the first stitch. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 3. We're building what's called a half double crochet foundation row. Yarn over, and you're going to go into these 2 stitches that go on top right there. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3. And as you can see, we're making it in 1 step, so we don't have to make a long chain and go back into those chains to make our little strap. This is going to be your handle. So here's the top of the little purse, and we're going to sew this actually probably into this space. I'm going to make 2 rows of half double crochets, so it'll be a little bit wider. It will fill in this space right here, and we're just going to attach it to that, and then it's going to go all the way across like an arch to the other side. I did my foundation half double crochet. I did 40 of those, so I'm going to add 1 more row. So to do that, all you're going to do is, like normal, you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to turn, and then you're going to go into the top of those you're going to go in the top of that half double crochet. You're going to continue the half double crochets across, and when we get to the end, I will show you how to attach it. So make 2 exactly the same, and then those will be your handles. Now to make the handle a little bit sturdier, I'm going to fold it in half like this. And I'm going to go underneath this stitch right there, and then I'm just folding it like that. And then I'm just going to do, what am I going to do? I'm just going to slip stitch this all the way down. I'm going under both of the strands of those stitches, and I'm going to slip stitch. So go under those two and under those two, and you're going to be making a little bit more narrow of a handle because I felt like this right here was too stretchy and I want it to be a little bit more secure, so I'm going to do it like that. Here's my first handle, and what's really nice about making it like that, it does curve, and so it looks like a little horseshoe. And so we're going to just attach it just like that to the bag. So I'm going to make a second one, and then I'm going to embellish it a little bit with a little bit of a surprise. So keep on watching. When you make your ends like this, you need to have a little bit of a tail on both sides. So don't cut it off short, just make it long, and then we're going to use those strands to attach it to the purse. I've made 2 handles. I'm going to put them through this little scallop area right here. I'm just going to pull the tail, and then this will come right into it like that. To attach it, I'm just going to put it on a yarn needle. Oops, if I can. And then I'm going to just attach it like that onto the other side. And I'm just going to go in and out until I have it attached. And just do it securely. You know, this is for a little girl, so she's going to be carrying this everywhere. So we just want to make sure that it's on nice and secure, and just go in and out a few times and make sure that it's snug. Now you can go in and out as much as you want and just do it all over the place. And then if you want, you can attach this part to the handle. I think that if she's carrying it around, it might help secure it a little bit more. So I think I'm going to do that. So far, this is what this looks like. I put the handles on. I'm putting 2 little bears in here. There's the 2 handles around the little bears. I think that's going to be adorable. How cute is that? The little bears fit inside. So the next thing to do is to put on the pom-pom. So I'm going to put on the button. I'm going to add this button right here. This is a very tiny pom-pom maker. So you just take your yarn and you hold it right. I'm going to hold it on this white part. And then I'm going to wrap my yarn like this. Right here, you just go ahead and go into the groove and just snip this part. Like that. And go into this part. Snip that. Then you take your long piece. You put it into that groove around the edge. Let me scoot this over here. And you tie a knot. And you pull it really tight. Don't break your yarn though. And then you're going to get that out of there. And then go back down and around. You're going to tie another knot. Tie another knot. Then you open this up on both sides. And you pull it apart, And then you have your pom-pom. How cute. So you're just gonna trim all those ends off and then we'll tie it to the purse. Here's my pom-pom that I made. I don't know what's going on with my lighting, so sorry about that. Here's the pom-pom that I made. So I just put a button on there and then all I did was attach this like that. So I just tied it in a little knot and then I just wrapped it around here. Put the little bear in here and his little buddy, or her little buddy. It looks like a boy and a girl. So when the little girl is at the hospital, she can play with her friends at the hospital and she can have a little friend have a bear so they can both share the bears. And I think that's so cute. Let me know what you think. Is this something that you think you're gonna make? Because I thought it was adorable. But that's just me because it's my idea. But it's enough to put stuff in there that she can carry around, whatever she wants. And I just thought it was really sweet. And I just pray for this little girl because she's only 3 years old and she has cancer. And that's just so unfair, isn't it? My heart just breaks for the kids with cancer. My son had cancer as well, but he was diagnosed 5 days before his 21st birthday. And that was even hard for me to be seeing my adult child go through cancer. And he had bone cancer. He is now 30 years old and he's doing fantastic. So he went through the traditional chemo, radiation, and surgery. He has a cobalt chrome bone replacement, a prosthesis in his arm. And he's just doing so great. And also, my husband had kidney cancer in 1999. He was 36 years old. So we've been down the cancer road a few times, and my heart just goes out to all those people going through cancer, especially the little kids. So I'm sure that this little girl will love this little present, and that'll make her feel a little bit better, and she can push the button and she can hear the prayer.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Your love be with me through the night, and wake me with the morning light. Amen.
Amen. Talk to you soon, you guys. Take care. God bless you. Bye.